Hi, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to talk a little bit about routing and base camp. So if you want to see some of the things that I do, stick around. Alright, so before we really get into this, I want to talk about a couple things that I do. Over here, I just open up a folder. Inside that folder, you can have a list. So these are lists inside a folder. So for a multiple day rally like a IBR, I had a leg or a list for each one. One of the first things I like to do is I want to find out how much time I have available in that rally. So I start with whether it's a leg of a rally or the whole rally. You know, if it's a 12-hour rally, you know you probably got somewhere close to 12 hours. But find the exact starting time and exact ending time of that rally and or leg. So if it's 60 hours, you know you have 60 hours. But then you need to subtract your rest time, your meal breaks, and you need to be honest with yourself. The rally may only say you need 6 hours of rest in a 2-day rally. You need to decide, can you do that? Or do you need to have 8 hours or 10 hours? You got to be honest with yourself. So take that total number of hours available in that rally, subtract what you have to have for rest breaks to meet the minimum requirements and for your personal health and well-being. And then you have your usable amount of time. Some people go in and start deducting time for fuel breaks, some deduct time for bonus stops. That's up to you, but you can do that all before you even start. So now that you know you have 50 hours or 40 hours or 12 hours or whatever that number is, now you can start building a route. I hope that makes sense. We're going to start with the data from leg 3. So in leg 3, when they give you everything, depending if it's emailed to you or if it's given to you on a thumb drive, however you get it, I just save it to the desktop of my computer. Once I open up Basecamp, I'll just drop it into the corresponding leg that I need. They're going to turn up most of the time in alphabetical order right over here, minus the numbers. So MSYC is the bonus code, MTCL is the bonus code. I go back in and I add the point values, so when I look at it, I can see how many points that particular bonus is worth. You can also change the symbol. All you have to do is double click on it, go up to the symbol and change it to whatever you want. All right? So you can change them to whatever you want, whatever makes sense to you. Now, I changed some things into, I use diamonds for high point values, I use square for medium values, and I leave them as flags if they're low value. And then I go colors. Green is available 24 hours a day, red is time restricted. Some people like to put the time restrictions off to the title too. I don't do that, it's just too much information for me right there. But so once I've done that, now I end up with this. I do that by hand, and I do that because it forces me to read the rally book cover to cover. Most of the time when you get them, they're going to be in alphabetical order in the rally book, and they're going to be in alphabetical order when you drop them in the base camp. Depending on the puzzle, they may not be 100% alphabetical order in the rally book, but it just depends on the puzzle, and we can talk about puzzles at a different time. Now these, I have changed them. This Chaos and New York 3 are bells because if you get both of those, it's a combination. These 4 are a combination, so you get extra points if you get all 4 of them. And then these 2 smiley faces are a combination. Now I'm going to change this dog back because he's going to screw up what I'm trying to do here. So if I'm starting fresh and I've gone through the rally book and I've changed all my symbols and now I've got these things identified as here's a 2-stop combo, here's a 4-stop combo, here's another 2-stop combo. I can left click on that and highlight it, hold my shift key down, and now I've highlighted all those. Right click and create a route. This route will be crazy. Okay, so look at the route that it created. It doesn't have your sense of direction. It doesn't know. It's just added them all in there. If we go over to the route at the bottom and we double click on it and open it up, 15,000 miles, 207 hours. That's crazy. It's even got my starting point and ending points wrong. I'm starting there. Now I have done this route many times because I tried to see where I went wrong. So I know I'm starting in Denver and I'm ending there. I know that Montana was first, and then it was Washington, and then it's going to be chaos. It's going to be Arizona, Alabama, North Carolina. That's probably pretty close. Again, the way this particular rally was built, the first 2 letters were the state code, and the last 2 letters had something to do with the bonus. So California, Arizona, Alabama, North Carolina, New York, Pennsylvania. So now we're down to 6,600 miles. Cross out of it, and look at our route. Pay attention to the red arrows. We're all going in a uniformed direction. It's not going back and forth and scattered all over. All right. If we double click on it, open it back up, we're 92 hours and 43 minutes of ride time. Does that fit in your criteria? So that is my usable amount of time. That's solid hours on the bike, almost 93 hours. How much time do I have in that leg, and how much rest am I going to get? If that fits, bang, you're set and you're ready to go. You've got 6,600 miles to go. So you have to decide what your usable amount of time is. How much rest do you need? One of the other really good tools with Basecamp, I'm going to start here, and let's see how much time. So it is 1,584 miles, 85 miles, sorry. I highlighted 3 stops, and it told me it's 1,585 miles. See where it turned it brown? So I'm going to do a BBG, and that's where my rest break could be. So now I can look for a motel in that area. Now I can go in and I can say, once I leave this one, if I double click and open it up, I can click on departure, layover. I'm going to take an 8-hour break there, and it's going to update and it's going to change my arrival times. I have gone into my profile and I've adjusted those, and I've made my profile to where I think it's very accurate for the way I ride. So these times are accurate for me. When I plan a route, add in my rest breaks, you can go in and I can add 2 minutes for every stop. I could add 15 minutes for fuel breaks. I can do whatever I need to do. But again, I recalculate and I make sure it's going to fit with whatever my parameters are for that rally. I hope that makes sense. All right, so there, my usable hours are 92 hours and 43 minutes. 8 hours of rest puts me at 100 hours. So take whatever that leg of that rally is and see if that fits. That's got to fit with what you're trying to do. So easy enough. There's my route. Let's do another one. So we'll go into leg 1. All right, here's leg 1 of the 23 IBR. Again, I've used green flags are 24-hour availability, low points. Red flags are restricted availability, low points. Red diamond is restricted high points. Red squares are restricted medium points. And then these green ones up here, those are 24 hours a day, high value targets. And they're what I call anchor points. So they are trying to get me to go that direction because they're worth a lot of points. So here's my first one. This is New York, Pennsylvania. So NYP. So I guess we haven't created a route at all. Sorry. Left click. I'll create my route. And now if I open it up, if you have something highlighted, it's going to put it right above it. If nothing is highlighted, it'll put it below it. So if I highlight that and say I'm going to, they're in alphabetical order, this one, I hit insert. If that's not the right place, you can move it. Just click on it and drag it. Click on it and drag it. All right. I'm also going to look, there's a 7,000 point one here, right? I'll never forget this one. It'll haunt me for the rest of my life. Right there. Now we'll hit recalculate. So now we're just doing them one at a time. There's no combinations in leg one. So we'll take our time, we'll build a route, we'll shape it into what we want. We're at 2,769 miles, 38 hours of ride time. Does that fit? Does it work? What else are we going to get? I know I went to Nashville. I remember that one. So TNBB. So we'll go down here, I double click, and it's going to be before that. Hit the plus sign. TNBB. Boom. Just keep shaping your route till it makes sense for you. Okay, let's look at this one. Our route went all the way up to 3,600 miles. Something went wrong. Look at my arrows. I'm going backwards, right? So I got them in the wrong order. This one's got to be up here, so just click and drag it and hit recalculate. Watch our distance and time change. All right, 48 hours of ride time. So just keep adding stuff, and then for me, if I get to the max, then I just look at something that I'm riding by real close to, right? Does it make a difference? Can I get that one? You know, there's 3 green ones, 2 of them being high point values, really close to what I'm doing. And something is wrong here, because look, I'm going back the wrong direction. I left Pittsburgh and I went up. So I didn't go this way. I went down this way. So if I add those in, it'll change the route. So just keep tweaking on the route till you find something that you like. For me, I went to that one first. Oh, see, I got these in wrong order for me. I went to this one first. I dropped 100 miles, and now look at my route. Now it's bringing me down through here. So look, you're going to ride right by that one in Knoxville. What else? I'm riding right by that one. You might as well add that one, right? You're not going to add much more time. And so keep that in mind, and that's very helpful. And again, if you open up your route, highlight that one, hold the shift key down, that's 1,000 miles. Is that where you want to take your break? And then you can look at it and say, okay, I need to take my break somewhere up here in Maine. So take a look at that. That, to me, that really helps. I couldn't figure out how to use that very well on a MacBook. So when I went to using this on Windows machine, it opened up that ability. I think you can do it on a Mac. I just couldn't figure it out. Again, I've never been coached by anyone on how to do this. This is stuff I learned myself. So once you build a route that you're happy with, if you have your Garmin attached to your computer, you can just hit device and send leg, and it's going to send the route and all your stops to it. For me, I go to File and I go Export, and I export it to my desktop. I save it to my desktop, and then I email it to myself, and I airdrop it into the Tread app, and that puts it straight in my Garmin, and I don't have to do my computer to my GPS. I'm going to stop there. I'm not sure how much this is going to help. If it does help, I hope you can see that okay. I did what I can. I'm just trying to give you options. I'm not saying this is the best way, this is the only way. There's a million ways to use Basecamp and other things. This just works for me. I try to create a visual, because when you're staring at 40 points on a map with no idea where to go, this is what I do to help me with a visual. I'll probably do another video that'll talk about solving puzzles. Several of the rally masters that I've been in, their rides have puzzles, and you need to be able to solve that puzzle. I did a video for the 2023 Heart of Texas Rally Boomtown, and I described how I broke out the puzzle and visualized it. So I'll put a link in the description. You can look at that one. That'll give you a head start on solving puzzles. Again, I hope this stuff helps. The whole goal is to help other people and draw interest. All right. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day. Be safe.